Imagine waking up to a world where fuel prices have skyrocketed and the cost of filling up your tank has reached unprecedented heights. This is the harsh reality in Russia, where record fuel prices are crippling the economy and leaving citizens struggling to make ends meet. But here's where it gets even more alarming. The surge in fuel prices is not just a minor blip on the radar, but a symptom of a much larger issue: the suspension of production at two major Rosneft refineries due to devastating drone strikes. As of August 5th, gasoline prices in Russia have reached historic highs for the second consecutive day, with the price of AI-95 gasoline on the St. Petersburg Commodity and Raw Materials Exchange rising by 1.2% to a staggering $974 per ton. Similarly, the price of AI-92 gasoline increased by 1.01%, reaching $841 per ton, just shy of the absolute record set in September 2023. But what's behind this sudden and drastic spike in fuel prices? The answer lies in the fact that two major Russian refineries, the Novokubishevsk refinery and the Ryazan refinery, have been forced to halt production due to renewed drone strikes on energy facilities. The Novokubishevsk refinery, with a capacity of 8.3 million tons per year, has completely stopped its production, while the Ryazan refinery, the largest in Rosneft and one of Russia's top 5, has ceased approximately half of its production. Two of the 3 oil processing units at the Ryazan refinery were damaged, and repairs may take a week or even longer. This has resulted in a shortage of fuel, which has sent wholesale gasoline prices soaring. In fact, market sources have told Reuters that the market is facing a shortage partly due to the ongoing attacks by Ukrainian drones on energy infrastructure. But here's the part that most people miss. The impact of these drone strikes goes far beyond just the immediate damage to the refineries. The frequent repairs at refineries, which were targeted by drone attacks last year, have become one of the reasons for the gasoline shortage, along with low stockpiles at private gas stations and issues at airports, which have led to an increased reliance on road transport. And this is where it gets controversial. Some analysts argue that the Russian government's decision to ban fuel exports has actually exacerbated the problem, rather than solving it. As Alpha Bank analysts warn, the sharp rise in wholesale gasoline prices could lead to a further acceleration in retail gasoline prices. Gasoline at gas stations has been steadily rising for 6 consecutive weeks, with prices for AI-92 and AI-95 increasing by nearly $0.012, 1 ruble, on average in July and the first week of August, and by $0.034, 2.72 rubles, and $0.036, 2.9 rubles, respectively, since the beginning of the year. But what does this mean for the average consumer? Simply put, it means that the cost of living is going up and people are feeling the pinch. According to Rosneft, annual retail gasoline prices in Russia have increased by more than 11%, which could contribute to an acceleration in the prices of a wide range of goods and services. This is a classic example of how a crisis in one sector can have far-reaching consequences for the entire economy. And this is the part where we ask, what do you think is the best way to address this crisis? Should the Russian government reconsider its ban on fuel exports? Or is there another solution that could help alleviate the shortage? The exact volume of fuel produced in Russia remains unclear, as authorities classified official gasoline production statistics in 2024 following drone strikes on refineries. But one thing is certain, the situation is dire, and something needs to be done to address it. Reuters estimates that last year's oil processing volumes in the country fell to 12-year lows at 269.9 million tons. This is a stark reminder of the devastating impact that these drone strikes have had on Russia's energy infrastructure. Previously, it was reported that for the third consecutive month, the Russian federal budget has recorded a steep decline in oil and gas revenues, with figures for July 2025 showing a 29.9% year-on-year drop, according to data from the Russian Finance Ministry. This is a clear indication that the crisis is not just limited to the fuel sector, but has far-reaching consequences for the entire economy. So what's your take on this crisis? Do you think the Russian government is doing enough to address the shortage? Or is there more that needs to be done? Share your thoughts in the comments below.